And different journals, they look at the sets of data in a different way. So what counts as data is very important for your paper to understand. And sometimes data can be just books. You can do systematic literature review as a paper. Some of the most cited papers out there are systematic literature reviews that are being produced on particular topics. You know them because you try to find something about a certain topic and you come across the topic being researched for you through systematic literature review. What do they use as data to write that research paper? They read papers, they read articles. You know, what do philosophers and sociologists often do? They read books. That's their data. You know, what do other people? They do focus groups. That's forms of data, how people behave. You know, some people do self-observations, autoethnography. They reflect on their own experiences. That forms of data. So, and there are hundreds of others, but you can see where I'm getting at. There are a lot of ways how to work with data. There are a lot of ways what to consider when you want to have the data. So now we decided what counts as a research. We decided what counts as data. All of you know that. Now comes the question, shall I publish? Shall I resubmit to the journal? I thought I had a research, I had the data. Shall I submit it? Well, the answer is, it depends. Some papers needs time, you know? You know, like the saying that the wine needs a time to grow and to mature. The same way sometimes goes for paper. If you think that you can write a paper in one day and publish it really quickly, you're mistaken. You make so many errors and mistakes, and most likely comes to the end of the process, you're going to be rejected. If you're really serious about publishing, you need to prioritize publishing. You talk really nicely about how it's expected of you to research and to teach. My experience of being head of school is that my colleagues put 90% of energy into teaching and 10% into research. Research is an afterthought. After you answer all the emails, after you've done teaching for your classes, after you've chatted with your colleagues and all the things, maybe then you sit down and try to do some research at the end. Well, that's a mistake, because that's exactly where you get into the question, shall I publish? Because I think what we need to understand that often it's not worth publishing with that paper unless you meet certain conditions. Sometimes paper needs to be written, put into a drawer, and kept there for some time, and then resuscitated and rewritten. One of my top papers, according to citations, was like that. I've written it, I sat on it, I sent it even somewhere, got rejected, horrific reviews, put it into the drawer, sat there for a year. I believed in the paper, but I didn't think that I did it justice. I still didn't have everything in order. I could feel it could be better. I rewrote it, I sent it to the right journal, and in 3 years it had like 300 citations. So what's really important is to understand that every paper is an audience. Every paper matures. You know, the impact of a paper, you can't judge based upon its publication. You can judge it 5 years from the publication. When you look at it and think, have people read it? Does it have a scope as well, science books full of citations? Do you have downloads from that paper? Have people told you, hey, Dr. I read your paper, can I invite you to be the keynote because it was a fantastic research? It actually really, really deeply matters. The question, shall I publish? We all make that mistakes. It's all about the process. But questioning yourself and making sure that you do that is very important. The second point about shall I publish is you need to always have multiple papers on the go. If you're serious about research publishing, you can't work just with one paper. You can't go through the process where you go researching, collecting data, drafting the paper, publishing, you need to go through the process of multiple papers at different stages. You start in one paper, you collect the data for the second paper, you write it up the third one, and for the fourth one, you're waiting for the revisions. So you should have at least 4 papers always on the go, 4 ideas, because it takes years to get the papers up. If you rely just on one paper, the whole thing falls apart, because you invest everything to one paper that goes through all those stages till it fails, right at the beginning. Or journals take forever sometimes to publish. Good journals take long time to publish. So, there you go.
Sure. I think this question maybe some research with us. How do you feel about the phenomenon like salami, like with one study, but researcher like many publications based on just one study, and some publications will be repeated from the other. So how can avoid it?
Well, that's number 6. That's called yeah. So that's like publication ethics. That's what you're referring to. Yeah. Now we get there. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. It's about yeah. We get there in a second. Just I'm going to finish this. Who am I working with? It matters. What do people think they need to publish on their own? And they research them and don't evaluate it on their own. They deeply mistaken. No one cares, at least in social sciences, if you're a solo author or not. What matters if you're first author or not? What matters in natural sciences if you're last author? Because last author matters, because the leader of the lab is the last. So it's about the disciplines, how they see the things. So if you think you need to slave on your own, and that's what you get all the tools to yourself, that's a very selfish approach. You need to collaborate, share the load. You know, more people, more brain power. Yeah.
Some colleagues said that if you want to publish an article, especially in popular article, you have a team, not only solo. What about opinion?
Yeah. If you want to publish popular article, what do you mean by what's popular article?
Easy to assess article with team research, not only solo.
Yeah, well, team is very important. Team is very good. Writing with a team in social sciences is very important. It matters, but sometimes you want to publish solo, sometimes you want to publish as a part of a team, but what's really important are the publication ethics. And that's what Dr. Hoa already referred to.
I think the point of social person is because she hear from the other advisor, if we want to publish, we need to publish with a team. We cannot publish with a solo author because if we publish as solo author, maybe the quality is not really good like publish with a team. So she wants to hear from advice.
I disagree with that. I think every research can be published on your own and can be published as to the team. I think that different. The question is what kind of contribution you are expecting from the team. You know.
Also have a lot of publications by this book.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the last thing is publication ethics. Now, there's so what's really important? What's really important about publication ethics is that you create an ethical platform. If you do something naughty and publish it, it will stick forever with you. It can't be undone. You need to be very careful. As an editor of a journal, now even the rules are, we don't know. If someone, we just have to deal with someone plagiarizing something. You do something. It doesn't disappear. It stays online. It just has a massive sign through it, retracted. Your dean is contacted. It's a massive shame, it's a massive issue. So be careful when you publish. Be careful. And I know that some people plagiarize non-intentional. I know that. I've seen it all as editor. I think people, I myself once sort of plagiarized, unfortunately, because I plagiarized myself. I thought I had a piece of paragraph that I thought I already published, that I thought I didn't publish, and I discovered it in writing. Well, that's clever. Let's use that. Yeah, I realized I actually published it 5 years ago. That's what you get when you publish a lot. You sort of forget what you done there. So it happens. Honest mistake. It was easy to resolve. But there are some people who purposefully publish to make cheap. But the most important of application ethics is self-plagiarism. There are two things: self-plagiarism and plagiarism. So plagiarism means if you take someone else's work without their permission or without acknowledging the source and you publish it. And it's very silly because your word will be stronger if you acknowledge the author. You show them that you write a good work. You know, no one thinks that every journal article is a Nobel Prize winner, but it contributes to the knowledge. It reads maybe that quote and the information were different. And that's what happens. People plagiarize sometimes and highly problematic and really dangerous for people's careers. Self-plagiarism is an interesting one. That one really depends. You need to be very careful how you set your research agenda. So, look at this. I haven't used one of these in 20 years. Not that one, this one. Oh, excellent. Look at that. So, you go. I don't know about no, oh, you've got the microphone. Oh, yeah, we will discuss. Absolutely. We will discuss it. I just want to finish this idea. So, plagiarism and self-plagiarism. So, if this is your research project, have you ever heard of salami method? Salami? No? You know salami? What about salami? Like slicing salami. Slicing salami. So this is your research project. So what you can do, you can publish the whole thing as a book, or you can go for low-hanging fruit, and you very quickly publish the whole thing somehow truncated. And then you go, oh my God, I'm going to publish more from it because I already used this and that. Or you plan your publications like salami method. And you slice it like this. Every thesis, doctoral thesis, should have in it at least 6 papers. Every good doctoral thesis has at least 6 papers to produce. There should be a paper on methodology, paper on ethics. They can be the same as for journal articles. There's a paper on data, there's a paper on overarching argument, there's a paper on implementation, there's a paper on policy. So, but it's about how it's being done. Now, I want to hear from you. Publication ethics. What's the story in Vietnam? You wanted to speak, right?
In Vietnam, publication ethics is very, very real, and list of people concerned about this problem. In our university, we are one of the first university concerned about this problem. We are one of 2 ethical boards in our countries, especially in pedagogy university. We need more training courses about publication ethics.
Yes.
For my opinion, in myself, I have some online course free from the doctoral master degree, we do not have any ethics, and in the future, I set up a schedule agenda to support and to help my students with communication ethics knowledge in the future, not now.
Yeah, no, excellent. Great to hear that is happening. What about you guys? Publication ethics? What's the story? What's happening? What are the hot topics? What's going on?
Well, actually, Nathan has already shared the picture of publication ethics in Vietnam. So, I don't know in other fields, but at least in education, now we're just in the beginning of being aware of publication ethics. Of course, before that, we were aware of the ethics, but just like ourselves, for example, we avoid plagiarism, or we ask, we try to ask our responders or our students before conducting the research, although we didn't really have a official document or something like that to show that we have noticed about every ethic problems, about the benefits and also the risk of the people that involved into our research, something like that. We have not done any of that. When we publish some of the journals, some of the publisher, they require for the code. So maybe if we don't have it, we have to change the publishers. But normally they ask for the ethical code in final step. After everything is done, so sometimes it causes some trouble for us.
Thank you so much. So we're talking about two. Yes, right. We're talking about two different things here. So right. So just so we understand, both important. We talk about the ethical procedures for publishing and writing the journal, and we're talking about some higher morals with respect to publishing, right? What kind of some ethical procedures external, external body. Dr. Ha knows very well. She was disciplined and punished by our University of Auckland Ethics Committee because every research project needs to go through ethics committee to determine whether you're conducting ethical research. So that's one thing. But the second thing is that publication ethics. So what do you do with that? What do you do with the data? Are you being ethical researcher? Are you deceiving your participants? Are you skewing things for your benefit? Are you taking shortcuts? Are you taking shortcuts in order to get published? So there are morals and publication ethics, and there's the ethical procedures. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, please, go for it. Yeah. Oh, it is.
Em nghĩ ở đây cái publication ethics này thì muốn nói đến cái liêm chính trong khoa học ấy ạ. Nó là vấn đề liêm chính trong khoa học. Liêm chính trong khoa học là học thuật là cái thầy muốn nói đến cái liêm chính trong học thuật ấy. Đấy là cái vấn đề mà với tuần vừa rồi chính thị trường mình cũng có ban hành cái văn bản về liêm chính học thuật ấy. Thì nó sẽ không phải chỉ có mỗi cái việc là hồ sơ đạo đức nghiên cứu như chúng ta vẫn biết, mà cái liêm chính trong khoa học là đặc biệt chúng ta không được đạo văn của người khác hoặc của chính mình. Ví dụ như chúng ta đã publish một cái bài trước đấy rồi, về một nội dung đấy rồi, bây giờ lại mang toàn bộ cái nội dung đấy đi publish ở một cái tạp chí khác, thì nó gọi là self-plagiarism, là tự đạo văn chính mình, và như vậy cũng không được. Hoặc là ví dụ như chúng ta không viết cái bài đấy mà chúng ta lại đứng tên, hoặc là publish ở trên những tạp chí mà nó không uy tín, những cái down list, thì nó cũng là một cái vấn đề nó thuộc về publication ethics ở đây mà thầy muốn nói đến.
Not several ways how
Yeah.
Document about publication ethics.
Yeah. The reason I hold my phone is not that I'm ignoring you. The reason because I'm trying to find, there is a. Yeah. So number of things what we're talking about. So the reason why I was on my phone was not because I'm trying to be rude. I was just trying to find a website. I found it. It's called Retraction Watch. There's actually a website and a group of researchers around the world that are dedicated to seeking and finding all those people who have published wrongly and made a shortcut in the publishing and to exposing it and exposing the journals who are taking such steps. So that's A. B. Coming back to your question, Terminal or any kind of authenticator, any kind of software that sort of, it's called plagiarism detection software, it's called. Well, why we should be worried about that software? Because if we didn't plagiarize, we don't need to use it. I often come across people who tell me that I have written something, check if it's plagiarized. Well, isn't that suspicious? Like, you should know if you plagiarized or not. You know, if you need to check if you plagiarized, there's obviously something dodgy in your writing. We don't need to check. I know that people get anxious and they want to, but plagiarism software is a software. Usually when I write, I get like a 20% of match. Why? Because it counts every quote. It counts every, you know, I write, everybody's got a style. I write in particular style, so it picks up half of my sentence that I published before, you know, because it recognizes the similarity. So it's always about human element and how you read results of Turnitin or authenticate. Now, when you publish, just so you know, everything that you publish goes through these softwares. And your editor gets a report, and it tells you. That's why I can let this editor think through, because humans are looking to it and they see this is not plagiarizing. And sometimes we look at it and say, well, this is a total plagiarizing. So I hope that answers your question. With that, I think it's about a time for a short break to stretch your legs, rest, and we shall continue about 10 minutes, right?
Cảm ơn mọi người, chúng ta sẽ khoảng 10 phút để nghỉ chúng ta một chút ạ. Đâu rồi đây không phải
Oh, I never copy that you. That's wonderful. Amazing. Yes. Yes, thank you.
trước
All right, are we ready to continue? Excellent, thank you. So, I don't know why the screen's not working. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Activity, don't be just discussions, it's application workshops. We can't have people go really workshops. We would have activities that we can just talk about. Yeah, something happened. Anyway, let's forget about PowerPoint for a second. Let's have some activities. So, I heard that we want to talk about AI.
Actually, we
I've got a question.
Well, before you just hold your horses, as he said, just in a second, or you can speak in a second. Can someone tell me here in this room who uses AI? Oh, come on, guys, don't be lying. Everybody's using AI. Well, I don't really because I found it really difficult to log in. But I tested AI, I tried it. Now, can I ask you a question? Why do you use AI? Why? Your microphone. When you have no ideas, what you say? You have a lot of ideas. Does AI give you good ideas? Really? You sure? How do you know they are good ideas? How do you know they are good ideas? Yeah, please. wrote a love letter to AI with their mouth. Yeah. It was discussed in the class. Do you think it's you see an issue there? Should we ask her also?
Yeah, because like from my experience, our faculty will finish one workshop about how to apply, how to use AI in doing research. And I myself attend the workshop, so I know some new website, some new tool like how to use some tool like connected paper or Scopus AI to search for literature review. And I think it saves time for me and effort in some place.
Thank you. So that's really excellent. That's really excellent. So it saves time. Absolutely, it saves time. It saves time searching for some information, but how do you know it's accurate information? AI, according to those who wrote papers or literature reviews, about 40% of information was incorrect or misinterpreted. So how do you know that actually that information is correct or not? The other thing is, if someone writes me emails through AI, I can tell they're written by AI. My student, who often makes mistakes or writes in a particular style, is beautiful, style that makes them so special because they use this English in such an exciting way because they, translate it for their whole language. Suddenly it writes to me like a robot, like it's sort of done by someone, effectively for unwavering support. I thought, you've never used the word unwavering before. Where is that coming from? So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, yes, it saves time. Yes, it is. But we should ask a question, is that the best way how to use AI? To write emails? To generate ideas? To search for literature? Is that the best way how to use AI? What's for us as researchers some of the most exciting or interesting ways why AI is important? Is it that, really? Because I can tell you one thing. AI, I consider to be very dangerous. And I explain to you why. Because AI, for me, is an average intelligence. AI works on algorithms and it creates the most predictable average answer. So yes, it gives you clever ideas. They are so average, so boring, so able to just believe them and not be publishable. It's you, human being, who has that amazing capacity to develop these great ideas and great projects, and it takes time. Like, is the reason for AI that now instead of 3 papers you're going to publish 5? Is that the productivity? Or is it in that and how you push yourself? There is a process involved in everything. Do you know the statement, it's not about destination, it's about journey? Well, that's part of the research. You become better researcher because you do that for a very, very long time. Okay, so now I poo-pooed the AI, right, for some time. And I told you why you shouldn't be using it. Now I'm going to tell you why you should be using it. Why do you use AI? Well, I can tell you how I use AI. I use AI in my teaching. For example, when I do this, I teach this master's class on childhood studies, and I use AI to design 50 different scenarios. So each of the students is dealing with a very different and specific scenarios that they have to analyze. So for me, rather than marking 50 assignments that are the same, doing the same issue, I have 50 of them that are different. That was a good use of AI, I thought, because it will take me time forever to write 50 scenarios. It was low stakes. I wasn't publishing, I wasn't offending anyone. I upfront declared I used AI to create those scenarios. So we come into the publication ethics that we said. And when I say, when is it okay to use an AI? You need to declare the use of AI. The problem is that people don't declare it. They write an email, and they don't say, this email was written by AI. they publish a paper that's becomes part of Angular, and it's written by AI, they don't declare it, and it's found out, and they get in trouble. Because local journals forbid the use of AI unless it's declared. It's the same as citations. No one is telling you do not quote someone. But what is everybody telling you? Acknowledge the quote. If there are speech marks, say where it's from. The same thing is in AI and publishing. Yeah, you need to declare this paper was written with the help of AI. So people know how to write, and you may have generated some ideas that hopefully then you have extended fully. Hopefully you didn't use it to write your sentence and paragraphs, but you may have used it to potentially generate something. But you need to declare that you used it. That's an ethical use of AI. Now the third point about AI is that more and more people are using it, and the software detects it. And it's often, and more academic publishing, it's coming up as a plagiarism because it's a limited number of algorithms. And people feel that suddenly people are publishing the same thing on two different continents because they're using the same AI prompts and understanding. So my concern is that AI is a great tool. It saves time, I agree. But it shouldn't save you from doing the work on a paper. The paper still is going to take you a long time to write because you still need to do all the reading, all the thinking, all the writing. Yes, it can support you. You take paper somewhere else. And you need to be clear that you use AI. But to rely on AI to solve your problem of lack of time, lack of ideas, or lack of time to read, it cannot happen. That creates not very high quality outputs. Yeah. So that's my take on AI. You may not agree. You may think it's very old school, but the point is that AI has its place, and AI can be very useful, but it needs to be used thoughtfully, and it needs to be clear that it's being used. It's almost like when you look at the scholars now, when they write a signature, and they declare their personal pronouns. He, she, her, and everything. The same way, you declare, I wrote this with the help of AI. There's nothing wrong with that you've done that. But if you don't do it, it's a decision. There is something that's wrong with communication ethics. You want to say something, I can say. You have the question as well.
Yes, actually the question related.
Yeah.
So the question.
Yeah.
Okay. The first question is actually related to what you have said.
Yes.
Because in Vietnam, English is not the first language, so sometimes we use AI to help with translation, for example. For example, we write something in Vietnamese, communication in Vietnamese, and probably before AI we translate, but I mean the quality of translation might be a little bit low.
Yeah.
To have AI, we can have a more high quality translation.
Wow.
So I wonder whether this is like ethical or is it like
That's look. So great. I mean, fantastic question. Very good question. So yes, absolutely. So there's a difference between generating content that you claim is yours. And the difference of using AI as a supporting tool for you to generate content. So generate ideas that you may then extend and use from there to everything is absolutely fantastic. Generating some key ideas, maybe a literature review or things like that. But there is difference between using a Google Translate, which is an AI tool where you put text in. I mean, good Lord, I used it 3 times already in Vietnam. So I couldn't understand a word was being said. It was very helpful. So, of course, if you use that, let's say, brain generative AI, it's very helpful. But at the same time, it just gives you gives you an indicated guess. You can't rely on it. It's not like a flow, but you know. So it gives you an idea, direction, where you need to start working with it. So yes, you can use it. That's very clever. I remember that. Yeah, there are a lot of different ways that we can use AIs. Right?
This is not my question, but I hear from my colleagues. If we use AI to generate idea, and then we will rely by ourselves and we publish, is unethical or
You are asking very difficult questions. Well, let me put it this way. I don't think that's the right question to ask. I think that the right question is to ask, are you being honest about what you're doing? You know, declaring that you used AI in your paper is basically saying you used it. And that's it. It's like when you're acknowledging a quote. You're acknowledging where the image is from. You know, you still can use it in your paper, but you need to declare that it's not your original idea, right? That's really important.
So,
Yeah, please.
yeah, so from the point of view of the publisher, the editor, whether you will like appreciate the paper that declare the use of AI, for example, like I declare in my publication that I use the help of AI for more accurate translation or paraphrasing.
Yeah, so it's a very good question. I mean, this gentleman has very good questions. Well, it's a little bit complex because guess what? The publisher's using AI. So when your article, when you accepted to publish the paper, and the paper goes to proofreader, gone are the days when you went to manual someone who read your paper and made comments. Now it's moved to AI software. And then the human being sort of looks over it if it looks over it. But publisher themselves uses AI to determine whether there are any errors. So I think we need to differentiate between use of AI for proofreading, use of AI for that, use of AI for generating content. Two different things. I don't think you need to declare that I proofread this paper or whatever. I don't even know how it's done. But I would be careful how your paper is proofread because AI changes things, as they like it. And academic writing is about nuances and detail, and often it's removes and reduces these things it's obsolete. So I will be very careful using it. But if you use it and you're happy with the result, it's still your fault. It's just edited like, Dr. Ho, I may have read your work and make some comments, and so, you're not gonna, you can acknowledge Dr. Ho, thank you, Dr. Ho, for reading my paper and for your support. But usually we don't do it. It's just an academic piece of work. We can enter it. The same way with AI. Where we get into trouble with AI is if you're generating a content. If you're generating if you're thinking, oh my God, what I'm going to write about, I have this topic where I don't know what. Let's use AI to help me to write. You need to say, this article was published with the help of AI. So that's the difference. Proofreading is something else. Generating content, again, you may ask, and that's a good question, what's the role of what's the technical editor on that? Well, it really depends. There are some editors who are really encouraging use of AI, and they're very open about it. And they say they don't care if there is AI. They say there is a limited number of times how you utilize methodology or whatever for a particular journal. And they don't mind how it's used AI as long as it's original, as long as it's good, as long as it's correct, it's a high impact. And then there are others who will tell you, no, AI is allowed to publish in my journal. So what it comes to is when I started our conversation with, no, your journal. if you know the journal where you are, if you read the papers where they are, you will see these papers are written with the help of AI, these papers are not. Again, it comes to the question of why do we publish? If you have no idea to publish, should you publish? You know, so that's the question. Because my supervisor, you know, my supervisor, she's a very, very well-known scholar. She told me, when I was a PhD student, if I have one good idea a year and I can write one good paper, I consider myself lucky. And it's true, you know. And she would write one paper and it would win the top award, you know. But she wouldn't write 2 or 3 because she didn't have enough ideas for 2 or 3. I guess what I'm saying, when the time is right, you will publish the paper. But it requires time, dedication. So AI may not necessarily help you because I think every day we inspire. I'm inspired by you, by Dr. Hoa, by what you're saying. I'm already thinking, oh gosh, that would be a great paper to write about this, you know. So we can inspire every day, you know. We have great ideas for research. We should be reading every day to generate content for literature review, you know. We should be getting better in English to be able to proofread our work. We should be having reading groups and coming together and reading the articles every week and reading in English and become more comfortable with the language. So all of those things are really important, like really, really important. So use of AI, yes, of course, we can't avoid it. It's like silly. It's like if you would have this workshop in 1985 where we're talking about should I use a computer to type or should I should handwrite? And I will tell you, oh no, do handwriting because it's really all you. What do you think of, you know, writing it? Well, of course, you know, you move with technology. Of course, you type. And I remember those debates in Congress. But you can copy C, copy B, you know, sort of. Of course, a lot. You know, who cares about it? And the same thing is with AI. You know, so we can't, you know, turn our backs to the developments. But there's a different about thinking about it as an opportunity and where it can support us. And thinking about it as a tool that's going to be good for us and we need to think. And what really worries me is that what I often see, I'm not saying here, but I mean like sometimes in students and others, it's being used as a thing, oh my god, I ran out of time, I need to turn to AI and produce something really quickly. And then it looks very silly, everybody knows what it was. So that's the problem with AI. So for me, like with technology, you know the issue with technology, you know all these questions about are it's dangerous or computers, how much children, how much it's screen time. I was saying, no, it's a human who is dangerous. It's about how you use the device. Device, don't blame the device. Device can be an amazing tool to support child development and to work if you sort of work with that. Same with AI. It's an amazing platform that could be really powerful in the business. But the dumb thing is, if it's going to make us, you know, not as smart as we can be. Because we, you know, we offset all of our thinking to it. Our great ideas are not going to progress, you know. Like, for example, I'm always thinking of Dr. Hoa and her fabulous thesis, you know. She wrote the thesis pre-AI, and I'm glad. Because she may have been tempted to do something with that, but her thesis is amazing. It's so rich, so powerful, with those beautiful quotes and the language that comes, you know, from poetry and from the philosophy, and those great rich data that are sort of there, you know, those stories about these Vietnamese children working with Zero in Vietnam and her reading of a theory. Well, you know, when she slaved over that, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, night and day. And yeah, that would be big sort of temptation. Why not just use AI and quickly do it and quickly? It wouldn't be so beautiful as it is. You can trust me. No one could write, I mean, you know, would it do something? Yes. But would it do that beautiful work, that amazing work, that Dr. Hoa produced? No. So that's my problem with AI. It takes certain aesthetics, certain beauty. It becomes very utilitarian. It's almost like it's fulfilling the function. And if it starts just about that, fulfilling the function, that's fine. Then use it for the function. But let's keep humans what they are the best. We are the most creative, amazing human beings who can do great work, who write beautifully. And you know what the most beautiful thing about our life is that we make errors. It's the errors, those mistakes, that makes your writing recognizable, that makes it perfect, that makes it sound like it is. I mean, was Dr. Zoll's English perfect? No, it wasn't. But it was this beautiful style that she created with the use of language that was powerful and correct. And sometimes there were mistakes. But it was the most beautiful narrative that the other supervisor was crying when she read some of the old, you know. So that's my problem with AI. It's that it reduces our potential to do something. Yes, you can, but to shorten my speech this. Yes, you can publish with AI, you need to declare it. That's the technical way how to do it. And if they find out that you use it and you didn't declare it, which they will because they're not now the Germans are using detection software for it, you know, that, you know, you're in trouble. So, you know, what they do. Right, any other questions about AI? Maybe you guys at the back, you may have questions about AI. Any questions? Any questions? Yes, please, yes.
I think that in the process of communication, we need some information about the article information for publication.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I chose to solve her system on Web of Science system.
Yeah.
However, some article sometimes in Scotland, sometimes not in Scotland, and in nowadays it's very difficult to choose suitable journal. And in my countries we have two kind of point of view. Firstly, open access or not open access. Some people approve with not open access, close access, and some people approve open access. In the developing countries like Vietnam, we have very difficult with the fee to support open access.
Yeah. Yeah, I can answer that. Before I answer, just have you remind me because it can be open access, it needs to be signed. Yeah. So, excellent question. Thank you. Well, yeah, it's true. There are a lot of journals who have a lot of, web science, scopus, and climate factors, and they are, highly regarded. Does everybody want to publish in them? Yes. They need to write. Do you want to publish in them because the university wants to publish in them, or do you want to publish in them because that's the company of articles that you want to belong to? Because when you read your research, the articles, the literature review journals are coming from, the papers are coming from that particular journal. That's a question which you need to ask yourself. So that's that. Why do you want to publish that? Because again, it comes to why publish. B. There's always a quality in the quantity. If you think that you can publish one paper and it's going to be in a top journal, that's not how it works. You need to publish a number of different papers And it's going to be some of them that's going to be very amazing, and some of them they're going to sort of float above average. But in order to publish in a top paper, you need to go through the process of really, doing all the hard work and hoping, with a little bit of luck for the reviewers who are going to review your paper, you want to actually get your paper in the right shape and do the publishing. Now, I don't think publishing in Scopus or real science journals is actually that hard. I think that the key is to publish in journals that will accept your work. It relates to your research. That work is the most important. That work is the most important. And the third question that you asked, very good one. Shall I publish open access or behind the paywall? I would say always open access. If you publish open access, more and more and more people will download and read your paper than if it's behind a closed paywall. Now, the good thing is that all the New Zealand researchers, they publish for free with open access. So if you partner with them, but you need to let them despite maybe they may be second or third, but they part of the team. You need to let them to fulfill the publishing agreement. You still don't offer. And then their email address will trick the open access option. So that's really important. So I would say, yes, it is very expensive. And yes, open access journals are not that high quality. So you need to go for journals that are paywall. And you want to have your article open access. So in that case, what I would say is I wouldn't pay that money for my own company. It's bloody expensive. It's like £5,000 or let's pay for that. But if you co-publish with someone who has that opportunity, I think UK researchers sometimes have it in Australia and New Zealand has it. You get it for free. You just need to let them get the author to fill and sign the publishing agreement, because that's when they will trigger the open access option, which is great for you because you're still the first author, nothing changes. But because you have someone on your team who has an opportunity, you can benefit from it. So publication is also about being clever around it. So please. Have I answered your questions? Yeah? Someone else wants to have questions about AI. Now, we should be, I want to show you something else before we finish.
Sorry, I want to explain a little bit about the open access.
Oh, yeah,
Because
please.
maybe they...
Oh, absolutely, I'm so sorry. Please, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Our social media, so also find some journal. But this journal only accept open access.
That's right, that's what I mean. It's open access journal. Yes.
Pay a lot and a lot.
Yes.
And maybe this is not high impact journal.
Absolutely.
Đây thầy còn nói một ý, chắc là ở Việt Nam mình thì mọi người cũng biết là chúng ta khi mà publish các bài báo thì có rất nhiều các journal là phải trả tiền. Ví dụ cái journal đấy thường là nó đến những hệ thống như là em nhớ không nhầm như là BDPI, yeah. This journal from BDPI, Discovery, something all over access.
Yeah.
Nhưng mà những cái đấy nó phải trả tiền rất là nhiều, và thầy còn nói đến một ý là nếu như mọi người mà viết bài mà có co-author với lại những cái học giả ở nước ngoài mà đến những trường đại học uy tín như ở New Zealand như thầy chẳng hạn, thì co-author của những thầy hay những người trường đại học của tất cả các trường đại học của New Zealand chẳng hạn, thì là chỉ cần là co-author thôi, thì co-author như thầy có thể viết một cái nó gọi là một cái gọi là contribution letter, thì trong cái đấy là sẽ đồng ý là với cái địa chỉ email của những người sử dụng author sẽ được là open access free, và trên cái tạp chí rất là uy tín như là
All right, so what I want to pick up on this conversation because I think that you guys have done fantastic work at directing this conversation towards an, again, brilliant of the whole actually has done that, of taking us to AI and having this conversation. And, you know, fantastic contribution from your questions. And I think part of the conversation where I want to head is towards, predatory publishing in journals and paying for publications. Because I think that remains a massive issue when we talk about AI, we talk about the self-ethics, right? We talk about the publication ethics. That was something really powerful, right? That how do you govern yourself, so to speak, and how do you behave. But then there is a whole world out there, you know, which behaves in particular way. I'm sure all of you are bombarded with these emails. Can you publish in this journal? You sent us your paper today and we'll publish it in 1 week. And it's just publication fee of 200 euros. And you can be published. So what I want to talk about is about predatory journals and predatory publishers. I want to talk about the idea that there are companies that are trying to simply do nothing else, just make money of people, students and researchers who run out of time, who don't have time to publish, and help to create them a shortcut to publishing, promising you everything. It's like if you've been walking on the streets and I will tell you, if you give me $100, I will give you this new Ferrari. Trust me, it's real. You can drive it. Well, you can believe it if you want. Same way, no one publishes a paper in 1 week. It takes time to publish. That's a good reason. Now you can go on the website and you can have a look at the list of predatory publishers and journals. You can Google it and you have them. Be careful. Do you know why you shouldn't publish with predatory publishers? It's not necessarily because it's unethical. Well, it is unethical, but because you know when you publish in your work, you develop yourself. You're basically saying to yourself, I'm not as good. Therefore, I need to go through the process of basically getting my paper published. It's horrific. It is a horrific experience to go through. B, it's going to end up on your CV, and everyone will look at it. It will stay with you forever. Everybody will know that you paid for your publication. Now, no good journal, and I've been around, maybe worked for 25 journals, will let you pay for publication. You don't pay for a publication. You only pay for open access. That's the only thing that you pay for, but you don't pay for publishing. And that's really important to understand. Really, really important. Because we don't want you to think that because you run out of time or because there are some circumstances where you're under pressure, you need to run to predatory publishers. You should not pay for publishing. Do you know why? I love your thinking around needing good ideas to publish. Well, those good ideas, they are worth money. Those good ideas, they are worth money. So the publisher is making of you money when you publish with them. That's why the deal with the publisher is you give them your ideas and they will publish it. And you don't pay for them types of things, cleaning it up, writing it up and publishing it, right? Because they notify you for it down the track. Here, you are not only giving away your ideas, you're paying for someone to take your ideas. It's like paying a thief coming to your house, please go and take more, here's more money, please do that. That's what predatory publishing pretty much is. We as an academics, we need to learn how to value our own academic food. how we value what we're producing. We talked about here, we talked about case studies, surveys, observations, interviews. All your participants, they produce the data that you then give up and you sell it to someone, you pay money to someone to publish it. It's outrageous. They should be paying you for letting them publish your amazing content. So, that's my story. Paying for publications shouldn't be considered. Well, and then you have the other considerations. You know, you have considerations of scopus, word of science, impact factor. Do they really matter? I'll tell you whether they matter. They do matter if you go for academic promotion, you know, or if you are in academia. For example, your boss may think, I think you should publish in scopus and word of science. Or if you publish here, you get a bonus. Or, you know, it counts towards something. So, yeah, it does. Does it mean that the best journals are the word of science and scopus? No, it doesn't. There are far better journals where your work is a great fit for, and that's where it should go. So, does it matter? Yes. Does it really matter? Not sure. So, you need to go and figure out how important it is for you. I believe that everybody should get a combination of both. You should be publishing in the high-impact journals. But you should also publish in the journals that are potential that you feel aligned with, without thinking what kind of, you know, whether they are web of science or studies. Now, what's the best way how to get published? The classic mistakes that students and you know, researchers make is they publish individual papers to a journal, constantly. That's the only thing that they do. They write a paper and then they publish it in a journal. They don't think of a fit between a journal and a paper to the approach. The most important thing that they don't think about is they don't think about that potentially we may want to tweak it and go for a special issue. Now, what are special issues? Special issues are the collection of papers that are united by common methodology or something and have an editor. And they are run by high-profile, high-quality journals. And trust me, there is I personally propose a special issue. Because if there is one way how to get published, it's through special issues and let me explain. If you publish an individual journal, the journal article goes through the mill of various stocks and anonymous checks and reviewers, and often ends up rejected. If you go through special issue, usually you need to write a short proposal. You know, so you can look up every journals that you read on the front pages you all have. Currently we are advertising this or that special issue, or this is what we're doing. So, what's going to happen with this special issue? For example, there is a special issue on, what's your research of it? Teacher training. There's a special issue on international perspectives on teacher training, right? In the journal Teacher and Teaching Education. And you think, wow, that's great. I don't know the part of it. You look at that criteria, what does it say? It's a top journal, high impact factor, really good, you know, Scopus, WS, and you read and they say, please submit to us proposal by, you know, end of October, submit 2 pages with like 500-word abstract and a key references, and we will be in touch. Now you submit that. So you don't have to write the whole paper. The paper can be just open, just submit the abstract, strong enough abstract. And key references. Here comes the idea, read. Right, so then you see what you read. And he submitted. What happens next? Create an email with, sorry, great topic, but we don't have time, or most likely what you're going to get, congratulations, we selected you. Now we expect a full paper from you by the end of May. What that means, suddenly you have 80% chance to be published, because your paper is going to the editor who has already approved your abstract, so he's keen on your research. It's not questioning whether you belong or how to do it. It will be a painful process for edits and everything, but you will get your paper published in the top journal. It was a special issue. So that's something really, really powerful. And finally, it's the idea of academic friends. As we go through the process of educating being academics, you make academic friendships, right? You become friends with people. It's not the friends that you take for. It's not the friends that you take for dinner. They are friends that are your academic friends. You work with them, you collaborate with them, you sit with them, you work through the ideas and everything. So they are absolutely perfect friends. What that means, though, is that those friends will support you and help you. Those are I'm your academic friend. I can help you to connect with journal. Other visiting scholars don't know how I see your academic friend. You know, actually your listening friend as well. So you get my gist. All these people, they can help you to navigate, to proofread, to connect you with the right people, to offer advice. You know, that's very, very important. So with all of this, I'm going to sort of circle back and close this workshop because I want to come back where we started. We started with the idea that all what you need to do to be successful is to read, read, and read. I really hope you understand why I'm saying read, read, and read. Because you will see how the full circle will come from reading the research, reading the up-to-date, most stringent research, to the idea that when you publish in the scholars, World of Science, and you have those special issues with those less academic friends. Now, if you read, you are knowledgeable, you can support each other, you become very powerful researchers. So reading is key. Use of technology and AI. Of course, you won't be able to avoid it. Be cautious, be deliberate, believe in your intellect, believe that you have something to say, believe that your words are more powerful than the words of AI. And a third key lesson is never, 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 ever pay for publishing. Don't pay. If you really can't, then call a sponsor or someone. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. So I do hope that you're gonna continue publishing, and if you want to publish, connect with me. And I just want to finish by saying thank you so much. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for spending the moment with me. And hopefully you got something out of it. And all the best. Thank you.
So after that, with the help of the format, I have some object with the format for yes. I hope continue in the future with the email.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, okay. Academic friends.
Yeah.
From a specialism to academic friends and join email will help us with the agreement.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you. Go well, keep in touch,
Yes.
and remember that it's a long-term game. You know, you won't get results tomorrow. It will take some time, but you will get there. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your wonderful question and for your attention. So, thank you, really appreciate it. Thanks. Thank you. Picture. Yeah, sure.
các bạn.
Another picture.
Dạ, con thử email không thì các bạn sinh viên lại chụp cái này các bạn đây lên chụp cái này một cái.
Thank you. That's amazing. All the best. It's a 7 years. Yes, it's all.
Bắt đầu một tiến lên ngọc này. Đây.
Yes, absolutely. Very happy. Very happy.
Em mời các bạn giáo dục mình sang phía bên tả lại vậy. Cảm ơn mọi người ạ. Cảm ơn mọi người ạ. Hay có một cảm ơn rất là nhiều ạ.
That was wonderful question. Pick the data about AI. And then you say publish. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.